Breaking news: Pope Francis has formally approved allowing priests to bless same-sex couples with a new document explaining a radical change in Vatican policy. He insisted that people seeking God's love and mercy shouldn't be subject to an exhaustive moral analysis to receive it. The document from the Vatican's Doctrine Office, released Monday, elaborates on a letter Francis sent to two conservative cardinals that was published in October. In that preliminary response, Francis suggested such blessings could be offered under some circumstances if they don't confuse the ritual with the sacrament of marriage. Video has more detail.
Tension as Pope Francis formally permitted Roman Catholic priests to bless same-sex couples on Monday, in a significant shift in the church's approach to LGBTQ and the people. The blessings may be carried out providing they are not part of the regular church rituals or liturgies, nor at the same time as a civil union, according to the Vatican document approved by the Pope. The latest ruling flashes out the opening the Pope made to blessing same-sex couples last October and marks a shift away from a 2021 ruling from the Vatican Doctrine Office, which barred any blessing, saying God cannot bless sin. Before this official permission to Catholic priests to continue or to begin to bless the same-sex couples, Pope Francis has granted an interview in an aeroplane where he admitted that the church constitution allows people to come to church, even though some persons are not permitted to have some sacraments.
È aperta per tutti. Poi ci sono legislazioni che regolano la vita dentro della Chiesa. E uno che è dentro è secondo la legislazione, quella un po' semplificata, questo che lei dice è una forma molto simplista di dire, non può fare dei sacramenti, e questo non vuol dire che sia chiuso. Ognuno incontra Dio per la propria via dentro della Chiesa, e la Chiesa è madre e guida ognuno per la sua strada.
But since July 2023, the doctrine department has been led by Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez, an Argentinian prelate and ally of Pope Francis, who has struck a different tone to his predecessors. When people ask for a blessing, an exhaustive moral analysis should not be placed as a precondition for confirming it. The declaration, authored by Cardinal Fernandez and other officials, states, "The grace of God works in the lives of those who do not claim to be righteous, but who acknowledge themselves humbly as sinners like everyone else." The new ruling says it is opening the possibility of blessing for couples in irregular situations and for couples of the same sex, although says it is leaving decision the prudent and fatherly discernment of ordained ministers. James Martin, a Jesuit priest who ministered to gay Catholics and who has been supported by Francis, described the ruling as a huge step forward in the church ministry to same-sex couples and a dramatic shift from the Vatican 2021 stance. The new declaration opens the door to non-liturgical blessings for same-sex couples, something that had been previously off-limits for all bishops, priests, and deacons, he told the CNN. "Along with many Catholic priests, I will now be delighted to bless my friends in the same-sex marriages," he said. The Pope's attempt to shift the church's approach to LGBTQ Catholics began in 2013, when in reply to a reporter questions about the gay clergy, he said, "Who am I to judge?" Francis has indicated his support for the civil recognition of the same-sex couples and sought to move the Vatican away from some of the harsh language it has used in the past about gay people. His support for legal recognition of gay couples as distinct from marriage moved the church in a different direction to a 2003 Vatican ruling which said it was necessary to oppose legal recognition of homosexual unions. The Pope has also offered his support to a nun from the United States, Jenny Gramick, who has ministered to gay Catholics for years. She had previously been censored by the Vatican, but recently met with Francis, who described her as a valiant woman. The Vatican's latest ruling says that offering blessings to same-sex unmarried couples can be done without officially validating their status or changing in any way the Church's Parmenian teaching on marriage. The Catholic Church teaching is that sex should only take place within marriage, and the ruling says that the Church cannot offer a liturgical blessing to same-sex or unmarried couples because it could offer a form of moral legitimacy to a union that presumes to be a marriage or to an extramarital sexual practice. But the ruling states that the meaning of a blessing cannot be reduced to this point of view alone, and would mean that a pastoral gesture that is so beloved and widespread will be subjected to too many moral prerequisites, which under the claim of control could overshadow the unconditional power of God's love. The Pope, the ruling stated, has insisted that the Church cannot simply become judges who only deny, reject, and exclude, and needs to have a broader understanding of blessings. Francis' openness to LGBTQ and Catholics has been an element in the opposition has a face from a small yet vocal minority inside the Church. His latest move on blessing is likely to face resistance in these quarters. And setting aside about this recent ruling on same-sex couple that Pope authorized the priest to bless, there is an Indian prophet in the time past who has described Pope Francis as the false prophet. He is Sadhu Sundar Selvaraj. Hear him speak.
Would you tell us?
There are two principal characters in Revelation 13.
Yes.
One is the Antichrist and the other is a false prophet.
That's right.
Now, there's a lot of debate about the identity of both these two characters. And I didn't want to speculate. I didn't want to play the game like what everybody does,
Sure.
I was just minding my own business. And a few years ago, I think about 4 years ago, I was in a conference in Sydney, Australia. And one afternoon, as I was waiting on God, the Lord Jesus appeared to me and he spoke about the false prophet who's mentioned in Revelation chapter 13.
Yes.
And then very simply and very clearly he said, the present Pope Francis is the prophesied false prophet. And then he went on explaining to me the many things about the false prophet, what the false prophet will do. And then later on, I did some research and I found that whatever the Lord Jesus told me was what exactly Pope Francis has already begun to do. And the amazing thing was, on June the 8th, 2014, we were holding a conference in Jerusalem. We do a conference every year in Jerusalem called Open Heavens Prophetic Conference. And on that particular date, the Pope Francis had invited the President of Israel, Shimon Peres, and the President of the Palestinians, Mahmoud Abbas, for a prayer meeting in the Vatican. So the three men represented the three major religions of the world: the Jews, the Muslims, and the Christians. On that particular day, when they were gathering in Vatican, a meteor flew very close by Earth. And NASA nicknamed the meteor the Beast. So that confirmed what the Lord revealed, that the false prophet, the beast that is mentioned in Revelation 13, is the Pope.